Hey Glam Squad, welcome back. This is Cindy. I realized I don't introduce myself when I do these videos, so to differentiate myself from Monique, I'm gonna try and always say my name. Hi, I'm Cindy. Today I'm going to be doing this smoky eyed look. Smoky eyes are highly requested. Everybody's always like, how do you do a smoky eye? And I think people get really intimidated by it, but it's actually really simple. So this is 2 different eyeshadows, and that is it. This is 2 eyeshadows to create this smoky eye. So hopefully this will help you how to create a very simple smoky eye in 5 steps. So let's get into it. Okay, obviously I zoomed you guys in so you could see what we're working with. But first thing you want to do is prime your eyes. Now I know I've already mentioned that, but you know, bears mentioning again because smoky eyes tend to be darker, and so there can be a lot of fallout, so you want something to definitely make it tacky. So we're going to use the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow, but to be honest, anything will work as long as you have a base. You can use concealer. I know that's what Monique prefers. Concealers crease on me, so I can't use a concealer. But I like this. This is good. So this is going to be kind of contrary to the look I did the first time. We're going to start with the darkest color this time first. So what we're actually going to do is take the Maybelline Master Precise Skinny. So if you guys can see that, we're going to do the tight line. And so what you're going to do is the tight line, or the is that line where the eyelashes, where the eyelid folds just inside where the eyelashes are. So your eyelashes, that there's a slight skin that folds, a slight skin where your eyelids are that folds to meet the lashes. And so that's where we're going to do this. We're going to basically get into that fold and kind of smudge this. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to smudge this along anyway. So it's really just to get the color in there at this point. And then also, if you can, do the under eye, the tight line under. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you make a mistake. It's easier to do this though at the beginning, because if you get your eye look exactly the way you want, you don't want to move that around. You want to make sure that you're bringing that all the way to the ends of your eyes. So the ends here and then on the inner corner of the eye. Okay. So we're going to be using the Zodiak KathleenLights Colourpop palette. This has, it actually doesn't have any blacks. Hopefully you guys can see this. There's no blacks in here. What we're going to be using is this dark brown and then a little bit of this black shimmery color. And you'll see it come together, but that's what we're going to start with. So we're going to get a flat shading brush, so something like this. And we're going to start packing on that brown color. So you want to, as you can see, it's really, you probably can't, I don't know if you can see, but I've really packed on a lot of layers of brown there. And we're going to start with that. I have brown eyes, so I'm doing a brown smoky eye. This would look great with black. I just didn't want to pull in a lot of palettes for this look, so I just decided to go with this one. And again, the precision here isn't going to be as important as to when we get closer to the top. At here, you're just kind of packing on color. So, and you want to bring it to your crease. So you kind of want to bring it where your eye starts to fold, and maybe have it a little bit above, but, oh, sorry. So you can see the brown is really on there. Okay. So now that we have that dark color on there all the way, you can, if you want, go over it with another darker color. So let's try putting some of this blackish shimmery color. Make it a little bit fun. because the smoky eyes you tend to do for usually an event of some sort, so this is like good wedding makeup. Okay. Now what we're going to do is take a blending brush. So this is the Morphe 330 brush. Hopefully you saw that. It's sort of a fluffy blending brush. It's very soft, and it's not too short. Let me show you something in comparison to this. See, this is one I've used often. See how it's way smaller taper compared to this one? So you want something kind of not super large, medium range. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start smoking this out. So a smoky eye. So now we're going to start the smoking process of the eye, and we're going to do that by taking lighter colors. Now you can do it really prettily with this purple here. That would be gorgeous. But just to give you the basic concepts of it and to make it a little bit wearable, we're going to use this color right here. This is kind of a fleshy color, and it's also a matte eyeshadow. So mattes will help you to blend out without getting crazy shimmery. So same style, as I've shown you before, I basically pressed the brush into the pan, kind of shook off a little bit of the excess. And then, so with the color intensified on one side, when I go in like this, that color's gonna rub up against this darker shade here. So that's what we want to do. So we're gonna just go and start blending this out. Once you, oh, sorry, I have this thing on a tripod, so I keep bumping into it, so I apologize. But now you can see there's no color left on my brush. That's okay, we're gonna keep blending it. What we wanna do is now, once you've kind of done these windshield wiper-like motions, which I'm sure you're all familiar with because it has been raining quite a bit here. But once you keep doing that, what you're gonna do is, once you kind of have pretty much no more product on that brush, you wanna start taking your brush and doing smaller circular motions along that arch there. So now you've kind of already created an arch with that windshield wiper like motion. Now you're gonna kind of make smaller circles, and that's gonna create that smoky effect. That's really gonna blend it down, and in blending that down, it's going to get really, really smoky. And so can you kind of tell now how it's very lighter up here and then darker in here? And that's it, guys. That's how you do a smoky eye. I know it seems like it's, I'm gonna do it for the other eye too, so you can kind of see me. I'll probably forward through this and, like, you know, fast forward through it, but you guys can see it again. But that's it. That's the basic principles. If you prime your eye, start with the darkest color and then go eyeliner, dark eyeshadow, lighter eyeshadow. Voila, smoked eyes. The key really to any eye look, but especially a smoky eye, is creating the effect of this, you know, basically like there is smoke. You know, smoke is actually very dark. When there's a fire going and you start throwing water on it, it creates, that water hits that fire and then it starts to vaporize. So it creates you know, very dramatic. It's very dramatic and it's very, very intense smoke. But basically that sort of dissipates into the air, and that's why you get what they call a smoky effect, because the hotter the fire, the darker the smoke, and then when it starts getting kind of going out, that smoke gets whiter. So that's what we have. We have this darker intense color here, and then it's smoked out with this blending. Now, that is basically that is it as far as the basics to the eye look, but I'm going to finish the rest of my face makeup, and then I'm going to show you how you can finish this look off with eyeliner and eyelashes, because we definitely want this to look dramatic like a smoky eye, but it's still going to stay very simple. And I'm just going to show you how to do that with the lower lash line. So step number 4 coming right up. I start my face makeup. I want you guys to see what that I'm not going to touch the eye look, but I did notice it's kind of dark under the eye, so I will be cleaning that up. And I would suggest, I mean, obviously I'm going to recommend that you don't do your face makeup first, that you do your eye makeup, so that, you know, if you make a mistake, it's easier to clean up. But if you're not one to do this, then maybe just brush that away. But if you do try this, I would suggest do your face makeup at the end. So this is a step I'm going to take right here. And I just wanted you guys to see that, because I don't want to touch the eyes at all. I want you guys to see that once I have my face makeup on. So be right back. So my face makeup is done. And now we're just going to finish with the eyes. So while I was doing my face makeup, I kind of accidentally got some foundation in my eyeshadow, but I didn't want to correct it because I wanted to show you guys how you could do that if this does ever happen to you. So going back in with that, we're going to want to use a different blending brush this time. We're going to want to use like a smaller, kind of like that first one I showed you, a smaller tapered, because this time we kind of want to fix that mistake and we want to do it with a little bit more precision. So the first thing we're going to do is go in with a lighter color. So we're going to go back in here with this light color and tap off the excess. We want very, very little powder on our brush. So you can kind of, if you can kind of see it, it's barely on there. And then we're just going to very lightly start kind of pressing it over that foundation. So I don't know if you guys could see how, you guys can still see this foundation kind of got pushed into there. So that's all we're going to do. And now with the flat shading brush that we used right here, we're going to take that brown color again and press it back into that and kind of reshape that line. And that's it. So going to do that same thing over here. And then we're going to take that same black color, the Capricorn, and then kind of press it all over again, just to get it kind of reignited. It tends to, makeup can kind of flake off when you're blending out. So this is kind of as putting it back in. Oops, see, made a mistake there. Let me take a blending brush and kind of brush it away. Okay, I'll fix that later with when we do the eyeliner. Okay. So at this point we have everything kind of blended the way we want. I'm going to take that small tapered brush again and just windshield wiper motions. We want everything to be super smoked out, and for that to happen it has to have been blended out like a dream. Now, I will say, I don't feel like you need expensive brushes to do this, but you do need good quality. And unfortunately, quality costs money. So I would not suggest you go out and buy, you know, a $300 set of brushes. I don't even own a $300 set of brushes. I just meant like you should maybe just invest in 1 or 2 really good blending brushes. And then, you know, kind of maybe over time, you can build up a collection. Because to be honest, most eyeshadow looks you could do with maybe 1 or 2 blending brushes and then a flat shading brush. And I mean, you could buy like Morphe, which those aren't expensive, and they're kind of like a Kia or a Hyundai of blending brushes. I don't know why I named 2 Korean cars, but considering Morphe's made in China. But they're, you know, like medium grade. They're not the best, but for the price, you know, it's pretty good quality. So, but they're not going to last as long as a higher end quality brush. Okay, so at this point I feel pretty good about our smoky eye and the way it looks. So now what we're going to do is something that's important for our smoky eyes. We want to go and redefine that eyeliner. So this time, instead of just using like before when we used that pencil, it was a gel liner. This time we're going to use a felt tip one. Now, so it should be really skinny too. You guys already know I love the Makeup Revolution one. But when I was coming in here, I just grabbed this one, and I don't even know what this do say. Fierce and Fine Graphic Pen. A lot of times I get like these boxes of stuff, and so things are just in it, and that's where I got this. So I don't even know. We'll find out if it's any good together, but I really love that. I think I showed it to you last time. That really felt, and also Tarte Maneater one, that is phenomenal. But that one's a little bit pricier. The Makeup Revolution one I think is only like $6. So, well, I'll show you. It'll be linked below. But this is basically what you want. Any felt tip type eyeliner. So something like that. And we're going to put that just starting on the inner corner. And what you want to do is do smaller strokes, because you want precision, and precision can be hard to do in one straight line. Like, it's hard to get a straight line, you know, on the first go. So what is a better, and as you can see, that didn't even come out straight. What you want to do instead is do smaller strokes precisely. And you want to kind of keep it tight in there. You don't want it to be too big. And the reason for that is because we've already spent a lot of time creating this eye look. We don't really need our eyeliner to take away from that. Okay, and that's it. Let me do this eye real quick. And you can see that, hopefully you can see the eyeliner. If I had done black, you probably wouldn't show it all. And you could actually, because I did brown, you could probably even use a brown liner. That'd be pretty too. But I just went with black because, you know, we're going with a very dramatic dark smoked eye. So at this point, I'm content with the way the eye top looks. So now we're going to do the bottom. Now for the bottom color, I am going to, I still have this Maybelline one. Okay, so for the bottom line, we're going to go back in with this Maybelline Skinny Gel. I really like the way these blend out. So what we're going to do now is, now because I've told you going to the inner part of the eye can make the eye look smaller, but because we're doing a smoky eye, it's kind of what we want. We want maybe the eye to be a little bit smaller, a little more dramatic. So what we're going to do is start in the wet line and go from the inner corner and pull it. You might need to pull your eye down, but you're wanting to get it in this wet line here. I know that could be hard for people at first. Monique uses a brush to kind of pull her eye down to be more gentle. I'm not as hardcore as she is. Also, I don't do this very often, so now I'm going to take my, you know, I always keep a makeup wipe, going to gently tap here. I'm not going to pull it because I don't want to mess up the color, so I'm just going to tap. Oops, I don't know where that came from. That's just actually fallout from the eyeshadow, which is why I do my makeup at the end. Okay, and then I'll take a makeup sponge. And this is what I use to apply the foundation. So it actually has some foundation on there. And if I tap over it, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Basically, I'm just tapping that in there. Okay. And, okay, so now that gel liner's on the inner corner, or on the wet line of the eye, we're going to take that gel liner again and go slightly where the lash line is. And you just want to keep it really tight in here. And you want to use those same short strokes so that you have better control and better precision. It's making my eyes water. Don't worry too much if it doesn't look perfect. We're going to smoke this out. So you always want to connect your upper eye eyeliner to your lower lid, especially in these kind of occasions. So you want to make sure these are connected here. There you go. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this eye over here. So now what we want to do is take a smudging brush. Now I have this, I think this is a Sephora Pro line. It's called the Pro Smudge. I want you kind of more to see, it looks like a flat shading brush, but you notice it's short and it's very dense. It's kind of like, you can really injure someone there. But it's very dense and it's just very short. And what that's going to do is allow us to smudge this and kind of make it smoky. So what we're going to do is take a little bit of this Taurus color, just stabbing it into the color, tap off that excess, and then use again, those same short strokes. We're going to smudge out this black. That's why I say it doesn't really matter if it was precise, because we're just smudging. We're going to smoke it out here with this by smudging it. So we're going to do, go in again with more of that Taurus color. Tap off and go again. Maybe bringing it a little bit lower than the black. So it's kind of like, it's black and then the Taurus, so it's almost like a reverse of what's up here. That Taurus lighter color is up here, and then the darker brown colors here. We're doing the kind of the opposite here. So now we're going to do it with the other eye. Okay, I'm not normally so aggressive. I don't know. I think keeping my eyes open for that long just kind of made them water, and now they're a little bit red. But so now you can kind of see, well, now you can kind of see, you can definitely see the black all the way around and how it goes from dark to light. And so that's kind of what you want. You want that dramatic, smoked, dark to light color. So what I'm going to do is, now that I have pretty much all the makeup where I want it, on the lower lash line, on the upper lash line, but I want to just blend everything to perfection, because that's what really makes a smoky eye, is how well it's blended. So I'm going to take a blending brush, and I want a big fluffy one. So, oh, here's one. This is from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe collection. It's JH30. But look how fluffy and big that is. Let me show it to you in comparison to the smaller taping brush that I used. See how big and fluffy this is? So that's what we want. And we don't want to go in harshly. I'm going to show you. We want to go in very lightly. You're just going to very lightly brush all around the edges of where this color is. So at the edge of everything. And there should be no product on this. We don't want any product. It's a clean brush, and we're just making sure everything is blended out super nice. Now as I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, you know what? This one's not coming up as high as it is here. This is great. I can correct it now while I'm here. So I'm going to take my medium fluffy brush, which is this one that I had used, with that Taurus color. Just very, very little product, tapping off most of it. Just going to blend a little extra in here. There we go. Now it matches this eye a little bit better. Sometimes that's all it really is when it comes to doing your eye makeup, is really stepping back and looking at your eyes when they're done and saying, oh, are they even? Do they match? Are they, is the shape the same? Okay, so now going back with that big fluffy brush, I'm just going to do that down in here. Make sure everything's cleaned up. Brush along any extra excess, and then make sure this lower eyelid is really blended out. Okay, And then just to finish this eye look off, we're going to take a very small brush, if I can find it. Okay, so it actually looks like a flat shading brush, but it's very, very tiny. Here's a flat shading brush that I use to do this makeup look with. This is the smaller one, so very, very tiny. That's going to allow us to get really precise, because what we want to do is put a little bit of highlight in this inner corner. Even though we're doing this dark, smoky, blown out eye, we still want to have a little pop of color here to kind of liven up the eye. So I think in this palette, we're going to go with the Cancer. So right here. Reminds me of Forrest Gump. Did you guys ever see Forrest Gump when he's like, Mama got the cancer? So just a little bit in the inner corner to give a little bit of brightness. And don't worry if you kind of brush it a little bit too much. I did. You can always go back and fix it. Okay. And then with that flat shading brush, just, I'm not even going to add any additional product, just cleaning it up on that inner corner. Lost the grip real quick. That's why Monique was mentioning in her video that you want to grab from the end to give you a little bit more movement. But sometimes, like in this case, I want my hand closer to the brush because I want more precise control. So when you want more precision, put your hand closer to the bristles. So when you're fluffing and you're blending out here, when you want precision and control, get closer in, closer to the bristles. Okay. So now I'm just going to curl my lashes, put on some mascara, and you will see the finished look. So I went in with 2 coats of mascara. Obviously this would look great with some false eyelashes, but yeah, I'm not gonna do false eyelashes. Mostly because I'm in for the night, so I don't even need to, but also just because I'll do a video on how to do eyelashes. They're actually not that hard to do. I know they can seem intimidating, but they're not. But it's futile for my evening at home. But this is 2 coats of mascara, which I think would be great. So if you have really nice lashes, 2 coats is fine. And so now you can kind of see this is the finished look. Okay, I love doing a red lip with dramatic eyes, so I feel like it looks great. But this is the finished look. So hopefully this was easy for you guys, or it'll be easy for you guys to adapt this to yourselves. Feel free to use any colors. I do this look a lot with purples or blues. It would look great with you know, maybe some darker reds. So yeah, I would highly recommend you guys maybe play with these colors. But that was it. Just 2 eyeshadow colors and 5 simple steps to getting this simple smoky eye. So hopefully you guys can do this. And if you guys do this, please send me pictures. I would love to see how you guys adapt this to yourselves. So definitely you can send it to our Instagram, or if you guys have my number, you can just text me, which a lot of you guys do anyway. So it's great. But hopefully this is simple. And so for this week's giveaway, it's going to be this palette, the KathleenLights Colourpop Zodiac palette. This is, you guys, I already showed it to you, but just so you guys can see, it's got some really great colors in it. I think it's super pretty, and I think you could do a lot of smoky, different eye looks. But I feel like this also could be really good for a neutral palette. So even if you don't like a lot of color and you might not want to do anything as dramatic as this, it's pretty versatile. So you can do some really nice things with this palette. So hopefully you guys will enter into the giveaway. To enter into the giveaway, just give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our Instagram, and you can win that palette. And since there's not many people entering, your chances are pretty good. I mean, we haven't had a duplicate winner yet, so, but I anticipate that happening because you know, there's not too many entries. So hope this was helpful, and we will see you on the next one, guys. Bye.